Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I'm sure you noticed yesterday that there was a strange silence looming over the video. That would be because somehow or another I managed to not have my mic on. Funny thing about that is I didn't realize that my mic was not recording until the very end of the video. So imagine, if you will, me sitting here making quips and wisecracks the whole time, while none of it actually gets recorded and my birds are wondering what the hell I'm talking about. So, now that you have that lovely visual in your head, I once again apologize for my mistake, and we'll try not to make it again. I make no promises, but hey, you know what? Things happen. So, today I'm going for a bit of a mystery gift setup. So, everything else is pretty standard. We're going Bolt Rail, Bouncing Bubble, Blurring Falconry, Awe Cloak. But I'm starting with the Curious Relic Cube. I want to carry this with me for a few floors before I drop it. I want to see what exactly we'll get out of it after a few floors. Oh, pardon me. So everything else was designed just to be something that I can keep myself going and set up with while waiting for my chance to drop the mystery egg, essentially. Alright, so let's make sure that we're doing things right here. I don't want to go through the first floor just getting hit by everything because my brain is saying, fuck it, who cares? And I'm going, well, I care, brain. It's like, I don't know if you do. You didn't even record your voiceover. It's like, it was one time, brain. One time! Why do you have to taunt me like this? And he's like, hey, I just live here, man. I don't make the rules. So obviously we've taken things that are very good at controlling an area and then making me look stupid when I completely miss with those attacks. So you can see the sort of fun we're going to have here. Me firing lightning directly over someone's shoulder, them hitting me in the face with an arrow. It's just good family fun. Fun for the whole family. That's what this is supposed to be. Darkseid, that sounds kind of violent. What are you talking about, violent? So it's just a pointy stick perforating my face and causing brain matter to explode out the other side. What's violent about that? I don't know, that sounds vicious. No, you're vicious. You're the one thinking about brain matter exploding out of the back of the head. No, Darkseid, you said that. Shh. No, you calm it down with those accusations. Or else we're gonna have words. Words like be careful, those guys are throwing fireballs at you, maybe pay attention. See, now what if you heard me say that just out of nowhere? Now wouldn't you be scared? Wouldn't you be worried about your future? Oh, hi Iris, what do you got for me? Nothing? Sweet, moving on. I might come back for the exploding fireball, actually, but as of right now, it doesn't look like anything I care. Okay, I wanted to go beyond the wall of fireballs, and I guess the game said, "Oh, you must be holding straight that way." Like, no, stereotypical voice of an Asian man. No, I'm not doing that. Here we go. Oh, what's this now? I get the feeling my control pad's a little sensitive. And yes, I'm using an Xbox One controller, but I'm pretty sure that the D-pad problems were solved from the Xbox 360 days, weren't they? This relic activates when taking damage at low health and briefly removes the cooldown on all Arcana. Honestly, I can probably just sell that to Cremire the Collector. Alright, let's just go back there and do that now. A little bit of extra cash never hurt anyone. And while I'm over here, yes, I will buy Exploding Fireball. I don't know why, this isn't exactly the greatest critical hit mechanism, but it is strong and it has a nice area of effect, so take it with a grain of salt. Here, buy that. Thank you. So yes, I will buy it. It is of incredible craftsmanship. It's a one-of-a-kind treasure found only in the deepest reaches of the South American jungle. Then I stop and go, how do you know that? I am a collector. It is my job to know these things. Ah, touché. Go away. Thank you. Thank you for the health orb. What do we got here? You know, this is all good, but I'm just gonna take the jewelry box. Now, it would be better if it were Jade's chakra locket, but trust me, I'm not about to turn down another means of a little bit of passive health regeneration. That's basically gonna make it so that any chaos gem I find outside of a chaos trial member fight is going, or you know, one of the archmages essentially, is going to restore just a little bit of health when I pick it up. Alright, gotta whittle these things down, create myself another window of opportunity here, explode a fireball against the chest. Bingo, bango, bongo, we're all good. On to the next floor. There's really nothing else here I want to purchase. One of the things I was saying yesterday, without realizing that my mic was, you know, dead and gone, is I was talking a little bit about Trials of Mana. The remake of that game actually came out not too long ago. I started playing it, and gotta say, I very much loved the game. And I can definitely see why the Super Nintendo original was so well loved. But it was also not called Trials of Mana at the time, so let's get into a little bit of a gaming history lesson. The game Trials of Mana is a recent renaming. It was originally called Seiken Densetsu 3, which I don't know quite where the mana thing came from, but it's basically Secret of Mana 3. Now, I know what some of you are saying, but they're saying Secret of Mana 1 came out on the Super Nintendo, and you're saying this one came right after it? How is that a direct sequel? Well, let's also look at how Square Enix does things. First of all, let me try not to die in this room. There we go. So, Square Enix at the time was basically releasing games in North America under the assumption that we would never figure out about how many sequels to a title actually exist. That's why here in America, Mother 2 is known as Earthbound. And now that we all know about Mother 3, they're all trying to pretend like it doesn't exist and don't want to localize it, even though it's probably the best game in the Mother series, and we'd all pay them money gladly for it! But I digress. So, Seiken Densetsu 3 was Secret of Mana 3, so how do you get to 3 when we only know about 1? Well, here's the thing. Oh, you're gonna sell me gummy vitamins this time? Well, guess what? I don't need them this time. By the way, does Nocturne the Cardist take the token instead of one of your cards? I'm gonna find out. Because if he just takes the token and has you just generates a random arcana for you to take, that makes that really good too. That makes all the tokens pretty useful. So here's the thing, most people don't realize that the first Secret of Mana game actually did come out in the West, but it didn't have a title indicative of the Mana series. What it was a Game Boy game called Final Fantasy Adventure. Now, why did they call it Final Fantasy Adventure instead of, you know, a title that would indicate that it's part of the Mana series? Well, it was the first game in the Mana series in Japan, and they didn't know how well it would do, but they knew how well Final Fantasy had done in the West, so they renamed it Final Fantasy Adventure to keep it more in fitting with the Final Fantasy aesthetic that Americans knew Square for here in the West. So that game came out as Final Fantasy Adventure, and everyone was like, this doesn't seem very Final Fantasy at all. Where's the turn-based combat? Where's, you know, the things that make Final Fantasy Final Fantasy? Little did we know it was that way because it wasn't Final Fantasy. You see the bait and switch they were trying to pull. It wasn't even a bait and switch, it was just a good marketing choice. So that game eventually got remade on the Game Boy Advance and was subsequently given its original title, Sword of Mana. And, ooh, Bolt Relic enhancement, thank you. I'm tempted to buy this for... well, no, I better not, because even if I do, she's gonna take Bouncing Bubble. I don't want her to take Bouncing Bubble, that spell is precious to me. So, sorry, Dr. Song, but not this time. So, when Seiken Densetsu 2 came out in Japan, they wanted to localize it and bring it here, but they couldn't do it under the name Secret of Mana 2, because then we'd be going, where's Secret of Mana 1? Without realizing that we already had it. So what ended up happening is that they just called it Secret of Mana, and they're like, yeah, fine, whatever. Wait a second. Ooh, Deferred Dynamo. And that. Alright, so far it's still only dropping one relic, but that's fine. We'll see what it's like when we get to the Wonder Twins. So that was all well and good, but then we started hearing murmurings of a Secret of Mana 3? What is this? How come we've never heard of it? Where do we get our hands on this? It was like a piece of super special contraband. That's all we could talk about. I don't know, maybe it was just me and the other really dorky kids at school were really excited about things like that, but the more we heard about the game, the more we were going, hey, what is this? How do we get it? And it spent a long time just sitting over in Japan, not being localized. And, okay, I don't want that. That fire was recently reignited when we heard about the Collection of Mana game on the Switch, which at the time was a Japanese exclusive, and it had Sword of Mana, Secret of Mana, and Seiken Densetsu 3. Now, once again, all of those of us who were big fans of the Mana series were going, oh, where's my Seiken Densetsu 3? Of course, we called it Secret of Mana 3. We knew what it was at that point. They weren't pulling the wool over our eyes like they did with, you know, Final Fantasy 2 and 3. We caught on to you. We became wise to your tricks. Square. Localization teams in general. So, after we heard about that, we were going, oh, come on! It's been years! How difficult could it possibly be to localize that game at this point? Turns out the answer was apparently not that difficult. They were already working on it at the time. So, that's about when I made my video on Collection of Mana on my channel, because I was going, Oh my god, they finally released it. We finally get to play an officially translated version of Secret of Mana 3. And they gave it a new title. It's snappier now. It's like, the stars were aligning. Everything was perfect. Now, funny thing is, when that game was announced, they also decided to announce that they were doing a Trials of Mana remake. Oh! You've got two amazing relics right here. Well, son, I gotta say, you've more than earned your keep. Whew! That was a good fight, all things considered. Now, I'm gonna be straight up honest. I never made it through the original Trials of Mana. I had built my party, gotten started with the game, but just never actually got all the way through it, and I kept getting distracted by other things. But now that the remake is out, now I'm going, okay, maybe now is a good time to go back and play the original. But let me at least see what the new hotness is all about. See if I even like where things are going. And as it turns out, yes, I actually quite love it. It does make me want to go back and try out the Secret of Mana remake for myself. Because that's one of those things where, even though it looks like there's still some bugginess and localization problems, I am interested in trying the game out for myself. Alright, so he does take the Token of Luck. Awesome. Alright, what do we have? We've got the cactus. Oh, cactus baby, come on down. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So now we've got Fireball, we've got Gusty Bird, we've got Bubble Bouncer, and we've got Cactus Twins. We've got the cactus. Oh yes. Okay, so that's good to know. He does take the Token of Luck. That basically means that for the price of the token, you just get a free upgraded Arcana. That's fan-freaking-tastic. Ow. Alright. That actually makes me very happy to know. Boing, 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 boing. Woohoo! Alright, and there's no way I'm leaving this level without Jade's Jewel Tiara. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, so that is 16. That's a 22.25% bonus. That's amazing. It almost happened exactly as I predicted, but I dodged at just the right time. Alright, looking good. Come on. Come on, game. You can do it. Thank you. So that game has been eating up a pretty decent amount of my time, and it's both new and nostalgic at the same time. It's one of those things that it's hard to explain unless you've been in that position. And honestly, I don't quite count the Final Fantasy VII Remake because, I probably shouldn't know this, but it's taken some subversive steps to be, a little different. And, some people are okay with that, some people aren't. People who are looking for a pure Final Fantasy VII experience, basically just with prettier graphics, wound up getting something wholly different, and I have to imagine that if some people didn't like the surprise, they're probably crying foul about it. me personally, the idea that it's completely different from the original Final Fantasy VII is kind of what makes me want to check it out. Like, maybe I'm just an oddball, but to me, that sounds amazing. The idea that they can take something that even people who haven't played the game know so well and actually do something completely different with it, that to me shows not only a dedication to the craft, but also how did they manage to keep that a secret in this culture of internet spoilers and whatnot. Like, to me, that's just incredible that they even managed to do that. The whole time we were thinking we were just getting the action game remake of Final Fantasy VII. Turns out there might be more to it than that. Now, I don't know much beyond that, so I'm not going to jump too far down the rabbit hole because, frankly, if there's a whole rabbit hole to jump down, I only know about the pothole that I can see. But I don't know, it's got me interested knowing that there's just a little bit of a subversion to it that may actually catch my interest. But I mean, not the least but having to do with the idea that I think Final Fantasy VII is, I don't think it's a bad game, I think it's an overhyped game. It's one of those things that, yeah, I respect it for being part of my favorite game series. I respect it for kind of normalizing Final Fantasy to non-fans. I respect it for doing so much, and at the same time, I'm going, where was this love for Final Fantasy VI? It's just a better game. Now, again, that may be a very biased point of view. I'm sure that there are plenty of people out there that disagree with me, but after looking around on the internet, I have to say, there's also plenty of people who flat out agree with me as well. And no, I'm not throwing shade at people that like Final Fantasy VII. What I'm saying is, could you maybe have given the series its due respect before Final Fantasy VII? What it really boils down to is it was the Final Fantasy game marketed to normies, and then everyone went, "Oh my god, it's genius!" And all the rest of us were going, "Yeah, where were y'all when we were telling you that, like, on the schoolyard?" Oh, that's right, Purple Murples. Okay, I remember now. I was trying to repress that memory. Oh! Here we go. So, just because it was the Final Fantasy that was marketed most to a mainstream audience, doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one. It means it's the one that got people to start looking. But, real honestly, do I think it's the best one? Obviously no, I've already stated that. It's the one that became the most well-known, to the point where it has a feature film about it, which is, in all reality, if you're a big Final Fantasy VII fan, okay, you know the characters, you know the story, you're down with it. Everyone else is going, what is this? They barely explain anything. Who are these people? Why should I care? What is any of this? Someone please help, my brain is rotting. And that's the thing, if you really look at the Advent Children movie, the fact of the matter is, it's an entertaining movie, but not necessarily a good movie. I've never been the person to buy into that don't think, just consume mantra that seems to be so prevalent in our culture nowadays. I'm one of those people that thinks that quality should speak for itself, and if what you're giving us isn't of quality, why should I spend money on it? Why should I offer you a thanks for something that's really not worth my time? And that's something that I think both the gaming and the comics industries need to understand, is that there are other things for us to spend our time on. Just because it doesn't seem like it because we're nerds, doesn't mean that there aren't other ways for us to spend our time and our money. So if you want us to spend time and money on you, You have to do right by us. And that's why Hollywood and the comics industry are currently collapsing, is because they've decided that instead of being kind to the people who are giving them money for them to eke out a living, they've decided that they want to push most of those people away, and they're going to now attack the people that were buying their comics. Why? Generally, I think it's because these people are morons. Thinking about the permafrost cube. I also realized that there were relics on the previous floor that I wanted that I completely forgot about, so, you know, oopsie poopsie. How dare you? There we go. That's what you deserve. And you guys too. Hey, you suck. On the boss chamber. But I basically just went off on a huge tangent. How is Trials of Mana Dark Sage? You've said you were spending time on it. What do you think? I really like it. I think the remake is really well done. The visuals are great. The characters are charming, if at times a little annoying. And I'm mostly looking at Angela and Charlotte. Charlotte because she's whiny, Angela because she's whiny, I got that mixed up. Charlotte because speech impediment. That having been said, I find Charlotte to be cute as a button, and I can't be too mad at her for having a speech impediment, because honestly it gives the character some personality, and I just plain love it. Also, she's a sprite, and you all know what I think about fairies in general. Well, we know, Dark Sage, that if you find a fairy during this run, you're going to take it. Well, of course. That's just sort of how I work. Me and fairies, we're buds. And that does manifest itself in my games, where most of my characters are generally positive or downright fascinated by fairies when they show up in games. So, I mean, yeah, I would be lying if I said that there wasn't a bit of a bias there. It's definitely what it is, but I mean, I can't help what I like. I'm saying everyone loves dragons. Everyone's down for like a big old mean troll or shit like that, but everyone overlooks the fairies, and the fairies are cool too. Well, what I'm trying to say is, won't someone think of the fairies? Yo, Dark Sage, you kind of sound like a fairy right now. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, Permafrost Cube is definitely doing its job, and I love it. Just, hey, I don't want to deal with that enemy immediately. Get frozen. Hey, my build is building up charge really fast. Like even without an item that boosts my signature Arcana charge rate, it's just building up really fast. And the jewelry box is keeping my health topped off. I'm loving this run. I think before we fight the boss, we're going to go ahead and drop that box and see what we pick up for ourselves. Because I have to imagine that 2 relics is about the max that you get from that. Now, as someone who's experimented with that relic before, let me know if I'm wrong about that. If you hold on to it to the very end, do you get 3 relics? Like, do you have to clear the entirety of level 3 before you get 3 relics? Is this one of these things that's more suited to essentially essentially endless mode. This is a hell of a combat room, I'm telling you. What's left? Oh, you losers. So what about your other party members? Alright, so like I said, I took Charlotte with me. I'm using Angela because I've got a thing for wizards. I must admit, she's one of those characters that has the I'm a whiny princess personality. But I think a lot of that ties into her backstory, I think. So I guess I shouldn't be too down on the character. What I'm saying is that the personality has precedent to be there. And yes, I am going to go buy a health potion. She is a person who's tormented by essentially bad parenting, and it manifests in the way that she reacts to things. She's not just, I'm a pretty princess for the sake of, I'm a pretty princess, it's what she knows. So I guess I can't be too upset. Alright, let's prepare to drop this. Okay. Well, that's garbage. But it does improve Merchant's Cart, so I guess I shouldn't be too upset, just mildly annoyed. Give me that. Arcana of Matching Elements. There's a nice joke. You can tell me Captain's Ring, that would more so match what I'm working with here. Complete miss. Alright. We've done it. The eyes of the council have seen our pleas, and they're going, yeah, try harder next time, idiot. I have my doubts about taking that one. I don't think I'm going to. Once again, it's because the miniature ball lightnings that get flung out of your basic when you use them knock the enemy way far away, and it's so far away that it would be out of the combo of my basic. So I'm just gonna say no to that. I was actually thinking about that when I was going to pick up Caddy's cinnamon dots. I was going, please, not just necessarily going, don't forget about that, but please don't make me pick up the citrus candy. And actually, it was more along the lines of, boy, I'm glad this isn't the citrus candy. Then I screwed that up royally, and everyone went, loser. I'll have to think about the Vampire's Fangs. I'm not thinking I really need it. Matter of fact, it would almost be better if I didn't take it, so I don't end up taking a maximum health loss. There. No more lame elemental archers. Improved laced lightning? I don't think so. Matter of fact, there's nothing there I really want, so I have all sorts of money to spend on relics, and if I don't see any relics that I really like, what I'll likely end up doing is just buying a bunch of garbage relics that don't do anything for my build, just to get Merchant's Cart up to its maximum potential. Then my third party member is the Swordsman Duran, because if you're gonna take a mage and a cleric, you gotta have Tanky Boy, someone who can dish out good physical damage as well as tank it, right? So that's probably the route I'm going to be taking with him. But yeah, that would be part of the reason why I've not really been like uploading a whole lot over the last couple of days, so I apologize. Okay, so we're now laying 3 different types of status effect per hit. We're doing freeze, we're doing shock, we're doing slow. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I will not take Mobius Quill. That just seems like a good way to lose what you've worked for. No, I actually like my signature for its properties. I don't want to just be like, nah. Oh, hey. Hello, Taffy. What do you got for me? Earthen Aegis. This isn't the right build for that, but I acknowledge that it's a good spell. So, I mean, I guess take that for what it's worth. It's me acknowledging that I don't think I want that for my current build, while also acknowledging that in other builds it's definitely worth it. Whee! Go, birds, go! Riku and Seesaw are currently going. Where are we going? I don't get it. Only I could pick up something like the Hunter Stiletto. I mean, I guarantee that it's a little bit late to be thinking of other relics, but right now Hunter Stiletto would just be amazing. With 3 different opportunities for status effects to be laid on any given one of my hits, it's just, it would be good. It would be good. Here's the boss chamber. Alright, there is a little bit more to clear. I will full clear it in the chance that we find something useful. Dance a cactus! Ow! Why did you have to hit me right in between my shoulder blades? That sucks. Alright, so didn't quite find anything of great importance, but yeah, been done. We did it. Now we're gonna come over here. Ow, I'm a dummy. There we go. Alright. We are looking good. Oh, Spell Thief socks. Okay. I will buy that. I don't know why. So, it's not quite maximum, but this being at 13.75 is real nice. So, plus this, we're at almost 30% damage boost. Okay, so now it's at maximum. Even though Royal Flush is kind of doing diddly dick at the moment. But if I move Deferred Dynamo over in place of the Exploding Fireball, then it'll do something. And I'll probably do that after the shoe fight. Just get myself every little bonus that I can. Alright, so you damn near kicked my ass in the last episode. I'm gonna try not to let that happen in this episode, but I make no promises. This man is a bastard. I don't mean he's fatherless, I mean he's just a jerk. 3, 4. Oh, you bastard. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Not like last time where I was caught in the full brunt of that attack. Basically, just left tumbling in the wind going, Ow! There. Now, oh, 4%. Oh, have mercy, your grace. I'm the best. Are you really, though? Look at that. Just doing amazing work. There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Freaking laser. And of course, because of the freaking laser, he got to go back into his monster shield. Oh, you jerk. Yeah, that's what you get. Look, Sura, just because you can't be as cool as Trials of Mana doesn't mean that... doesn't mean that you get to throw big rocks at me. It does mean that you get to hit me with a spell that I can only be hit by if I'm an idiot. Because I mean that's a given. And come back down. Thank you, sir. Ultra combo! Oh, you and your Starbeam. That's it. No more Mr. Nice Mage. Look at that, got you down in 3 cycles. What do you think of that? Alright, so we got to play a game of What's in the Mystery Box. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed. Because what was in the mystery box essentially wasn't really worth it. But it did give me the Hand of Midas. And, you know, there's something to be said for that. Hand of Midas did allow us to max out Merchant's Cart, so I guess it's not all bad, but I was also hoping that the number of relics it would drop would go up a little bit faster than it did. It's okay. So, thank you for joining me on this episode of Guess What's in the Mystery Box. We will be back next time for a slightly more stable episode with less mystery elements, or surprise mechanics. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate those of you who have been tuning in regularly. I will be back with more stuff very soon. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.